In a surprising turn of events, officials overseeing Shasta Lake are facing an unexpected development that has left experts in shock. After years of persistent drought, Shasta Lake recently experienced a remarkable recovery in 2023. Hope was on the rise for this once parched reservoir, but now a sudden and shocking incident has occurred, leaving water managers confused. Questions have arisen: is the Shasta Dam really on the verge of overflowing into the city? Could this lead to a potentially catastrophic event? These recent developments at Shasta Lake have astonished officials, prompting further investigation into the situation. Shasta Lake, located in Shasta County, Northern California, has garnered attention as its water levels have been rising at a rate that experts find difficult to comprehend. As of October 12, the water level in Lake Shasta stands at 1,019 feet above sea level, significantly higher than in 2022 and 2021, when the water was 114 feet and 180 feet lower, respectively. Despite this increase being viewed as positive, water managers are puzzled by recent anomalies. To understand the current situation, it's essential to consider the larger picture of Lake Shasta's role. Covering approximately 31,000 acres, it is the largest man-made lake in California, constructed as part of the California Central Valley Project, which began in 1944. The Shasta Dam, built on the Sacramento River, was a key component of this project, designed to address disputes over fair water distribution in the state. Lake Shasta's complexity lies in its design, with four main rivers feeding into it: the Sacramento River, the McCloud River originating from Mount Shasta, Squaw Creek, and the Pitt River, which begins in Alturas and flows past the scenic Potem Falls. Before the construction of Lake Shasta, the Sacramento River flowed naturally, providing water to the arid lands of the Central Valley, though it was unpredictable and uncontrolled. The creation of Lake Shasta marked a significant milestone in water management for California, enabling it to store approximately 4.5 million acre-feet of water at an elevation of 1,067 feet. This ensured a reliable water supply for agriculture and the local population, but it also introduced new challenges. Diverting the river to fill Lake Shasta reduced water availability for farming in the southern San Joaquin Valley, leading to conflicts over water allocation as the Sacramento River's levels fluctuated throughout the year. During the summer and fall, water levels could drop significantly, while in spring, heavy snowmelt from the Klamath Mountains and abundant rainfall often caused major flooding. In response to these challenges, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation initiated a project in 1933, constructing Lake Shasta along with 19 other dams on rivers such as the Trinity, San Joaquin, and Sacramento. These dams helped regulate river flow, store excess water, and mitigate the risk of flooding. Lake Shasta and its associated dams revolutionized California's water management system, ensuring a more consistent water supply for agriculture and reducing the threat of downstream floods. The Shasta Dam, in particular, stands as an engineering marvel, not only controlling the Sacramento River but also the McCloud and Pitt Rivers, adding approximately 6.2 million acre-feet of water to Lake Shasta each year. This makes Lake Shasta the 10th largest man-made lake in the United States, supplying water to California for nearly a century. The water from Lake Shasta serves multiple purposes. Around 60% of it is used for farming, a critical resource for the region, while over 30% is allocated to cities in the Central Valley for residential use. The remaining water supports ecosystems in the Sacramento River. In addition to its role in water storage, the Shasta Dam generates electricity through the Shasta Power Plant, producing about 667,000 kilowatts of power annually, enough to power many homes and generate approximately $50 million in revenue for the government. Beyond its practical functions, Lake Shasta is also a popular recreational destination, offering boating, water skiing, fishing, swimming, and kayaking. The nearby town of Redding adds to the appeal with its scenic beauty and amenities, making Lake Shasta not only a vital reservoir but also a recreational hub for the region. During the spring, when water levels are high, Lake Shasta can store up to 1.3 million acre-feet of floodwater, preventing floods and erosion in the area. However, despite the immense capacity of the Shasta Dam, unexpected heavy rainfall can still lead to flooding, as was the case earlier this year in Redding and Shasta counties, raising concerns among residents. In California, where drought has persisted for nearly 2 decades, abundant water at Shasta Lake is a significant development. However, in 2021, the water level at Shasta Dam dropped to its lowest point in 44 years. The massive 522-foot-tall dam saw its water level fall by 230 feet, the lowest since 1977. This dramatic decline caused widespread concern as it threatened various aspects of life, from agriculture and power generation to drinking water supply and the survival of endangered fish species like salmon and trout. Don Bader, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation's area manager, emphasized the gravity of the situation, noting that the prolonged drought had been exacerbated by increasing water demand since 1977. Shasta Lake, once a reliable water source, was under immense strain due to population growth and the demands of large-scale farming operations. The Bureau faced the challenging task of determining how to allocate the limited water supply from the lake. They had to balance the needs of cities, farms, and downstream areas, all of which depended on the water. This balancing act was made even more difficult by the need to ensure that sufficient water remained for power generation at the Shasta Power Plant, which affected communities like Redding and surrounding areas. In response to the crisis, the Bureau implemented measures to reduce water allocations by up to 45% in some areas. Though these cuts were tough, they were necessary to preserve the remaining water for critical uses. This year, however, there has been a remarkable turnaround at Shasta Lake. The water levels, which had been a source of great concern, began to rise unexpectedly, bringing renewed hope to the region. Communities that depend on the lake's water supply saw signs that their water issues might soon improve. The increase in Shasta Lake's water levels can be attributed to a shift in California's weather patterns, with significantly more rainfall than usual helping to replenish the lake, along with nearby water sources. Additionally, winter storms brought an unusually heavy snowfall to western Shasta County, further contributing to the lake's recovery. By May, the water level had risen by nearly 150 feet since the start of 2023, nearly reaching the lake's full capacity. It reached an impressive height of 1,064 feet above sea level, just 3 feet shy of Shasta's maximum capacity of 1,067 feet. This marked the highest water level recorded for that time of year since 2019, coming close to the peak level of 1,064.5 feet recorded that year. The cycles of drought that California experienced also played a role in quickly filling up Lake Shasta. Over the past 10 years, the state endured several droughts, causing water levels in various reservoirs to drop significantly. However, something unexpected occurred during these dry periods. Sediment and debris accumulated in the reservoirs, and when the rains finally arrived after the droughts, these materials were washed into the reservoirs, allowing them to hold more water. This was not only the case for Shasta Lake but also for other important reservoirs in California, such as Lake Oroville and Tulare Lake, which also saw substantial increases in water levels. This was a positive development for the state's water resources. Despite these favorable developments, a different story unfolded for Trinity Lake, a large reservoir formed by the Trinity Dam in Trinity County. By May 2023, Trinity Lake was only 39% full, a significantly lower level compared to Shasta Lake, which was nearly full at 98%. Trinity Lake's water levels were a staggering 120 feet below the top of the dam, highlighting the severity of the situation. Donald Bader from the Bureau of Reclamation spoke about the challenges Trinity Lake faced after 3 consecutive years of drought, making 2023 particularly difficult. However, one of the factors contributing to Trinity Lake's struggle was its smaller catchment area, which caused it to fill more slowly and retain low water levels for longer periods. Despite the challenges, the higher water levels at Shasta Lake offered some hope for Trinity Lake. The Bureau of Reclamation was able to retain more water in the Trinity Dam, instead of releasing it into the Sacramento River, thanks to the abundance of water in Shasta Lake. This was crucial for maintaining sufficient water supplies in the Trinity region. The ample water in Shasta Lake also brought significant relief to the local community. It provided much-needed water for farmers to irrigate their crops and helped replenish underground water sources that had been depleted during the long drought. Additionally, the increased water levels enabled recreational activities like boating and fishing, attracting tourists from various places. The rise in water levels at Lake Shasta also had positive environmental effects. The higher water created new habitats for diverse aquatic species, contributing to the ecological richness of the area. The surrounding forests and vegetation also benefited from the improved water supply, becoming healthier and more balanced. However, amid these improvements and renewed hope, something unexpected occurred at Lake Shasta. In mid-June, officials noticed a significant drop in water levels at the lake, with the water level decreasing by 45 feet. Water managers had to release water downstream from Shasta Dam to maintain river flows, particularly for agriculture, while the inflow from other sources remained low. By the end of July, Shasta Lake's water level had dropped further, reaching 22 feet below its peak recorded in May. As of October 12, Shasta Lake stood at 1,019 feet, which is 47 feet below its full capacity. This was a marked contrast to the same date in 2022 when the water level was at 923 feet and even lower than September 17, 2021, when it reached 887 feet. Although there was some improvement in water levels this year, experts remained concerned about the ongoing decline. Climate change and water management practices were cited as contributing factors, making it increasingly challenging to manage Lake Shasta effectively. Hydrology experts like Professor Graham Fogg from UC Davis emphasized the importance of careful monitoring and proactive water management strategies. They stressed the need for continuous vigilance and quick actions to ensure a sustainable water supply for the region. The California Water Plan Update 2023 is a significant initiative addressing California's water distribution and reservoir management. It focuses on sustainable water management through advanced technologies and scientific approaches, aiming to balance the needs of agriculture, urban areas, and the environment. The plan includes the Reservoir Reoperation Resource Management Strategy, which assists local agencies in managing water and resources effectively. Additionally, the Forecast-Informed Reservoir Operations Program, developed by the Department of Water Resources, uses scientific forecasting to better anticipate and manage large storm events, maximizing water supply opportunities and enhancing the state's ability to handle extreme weather. Governor Newsom's comprehensive water strategy aims to create storage space for up to 4 million acre-feet of water, with a focus on recycling and reusing water, targeting 800,000 acre-feet of annual recycling by 2030. These initiatives represent significant steps towards sustainable water management in California. Through these strategic measures, California demonstrates its commitment to addressing the concerns of its citizens. By embracing innovative approaches, leveraging scientific advancements, and implementing comprehensive plans, the state strives for a resilient and efficient water management system that is crucial for both the environment and the well-being of its residents. During the construction of the Shasta Dam from 1938 to 1945, vast lands were flooded to create California's largest reservoir. This led to the displacement and destruction of the Winnemem-Wintu tribal lands, disrupting their ancestral grounds and harming the habitat of the Chinook salmon, which has since become endangered. Today, a proposal to raise the dam's height by 18.5 feet is under consideration. The aim is to benefit large agricultural landowners in the southern Central Valley by providing more water during wet years. However, this expansion would further flood the Winnemem-Wintu's lands, jeopardizing sacred sites and worsening the situation for endangered species, which are already facing challenges due to climate change-induced increases in water temperatures. The necessity of this project is debatable, especially considering the reduction in water usage brought about by conservation efforts. Critics argue that the expansion would exacerbate ecological risks and cultural losses for the tribe, which continues to fight for its rights and for the preservation of salmon populations. The state of California opposes the project due to its environmental impacts, and Congress has yet to act on restoring federal recognition to the Winnemem-Wintu tribe. Despite concerns raised by biologists about the negative effects on salmon, the dam's expansion is supported by politically influential groups linked to agriculture. Some worry that the project could result in environmental disasters similar to the Oroville Dam failure in 2017. Furthermore, at a time when dam removal is being promoted, funding this project could provoke public backlash due to its perceived inefficiency and environmental risks. Ultimately, the primary beneficiaries of the dam's expansion seem to be a small group of influential landowners, raising questions about the necessity, environmental consequences, and political implications of this project in an era when the focus is shifting away from traditional dam-based water storage systems.